welcome to our community checkup show to round out the year of 2024. In this, we're going to highlight the best clips, our best features, which they're all phenomenal. I loved every last bit of it, but we're going to kind of just highlight some of our favorites. Now, your support, your engagement has been incredibly instrumental in making this show a success. And I know Missy can probably share a little bit more of her thoughts on this year and the shows that we've done. My co-host, Missy Acosta, always a treat.
Thank you, Stephanie. It's always so much fun to do these. And, you know, over the past year, I was just reflecting on how much we have done in this past year. So it's been a lot of fun. I remember in April, episode 1, we talked about oral cancer awareness. Yes. That was something very important to us. And then we also did quite a bit around the community. I remember one of my favorite pictures of the year, and actually for Delta Dental, this was one of our most engaging social posts of the year, and that was with our CEO and our Chief Strategy Officer on the new book bus that Bookham put out.
I do love the book bus, that Bookham book bus. That is incredible. And I think what's been so beautiful is to see all the good work being done to better the health of our communities throughout our state.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, talking about health, episode 2, we were able to meet Joel Sullivan with the American Red Cross. So that was a treat that we were able to share with everybody.
Not only Joel Sullivan with the Red Cross, but the other community projects, looking at the Governor's Early Literacy Gala. That was incredible. And the cool kids, the kids that were there that evening.
I got to meet the governor, got to meet 9 other children from all over the state. And yeah, it was really exciting.
As much fun as the gala was, something else that was just an enjoyable time, seeing the Big Brothers Big Sisters graduation at Geodis Park.
Yes. Big Brothers Big Sisters is an organization close to my heart. Yes. I've served on the board. I was board chair for a couple of years, actually during COVID. And I mean, just the work that organization does to bring young people together with adult influencers for their lives, and just the whole concept of mentoring. I had opportunities to be mentored when I was a kid. I'm sure you may have had mentors growing up. And I mean, those relationships are so meaningful. So Big Brothers Big Sisters does so much for the community.
All right, we're going to go down to episode 3. Episode 3 was a fun one. I remember being at Lipscomb University on this morning. You had Special Olympics, summer games. Talk about a good time. If you want to see kids having fun and just all ages having a good time, that is where you go.
It means a lot to me because you can compete and meet new people. And I'm a very social kind of guy. I do golf, soccer, flag football, bocce, bowling, basketball, volleyball sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Special Olympics is an organization where they give us awards and give us a fellowship. And it means it's just wonderful because we get to talk to people and get to meet people.
Very nice. How many friends have you met through Special Olympics?
A whole lot.
Have you really?
Yes.
The partnership with Delta Dental, you'll see in our Healthy Athletes event, we're doing free health screenings, free dental health screenings, free vision screenings. We have podiatrists out here. So we do a lot. People don't know about the health work that we do. All these screenings are absolutely free to our athletes. So without partners like Delta Dental, those don't happen.
If you missed that episode, I encourage you to go back to check out our community checkup. Actually, all of them, you can do that by going to our app, Main Street Media TV Mobile. Something else, the City Current Breakfast, you were able to talk with the Tulane's basketball coach. Do you want to reflect on that conversation that you had?
Yes. Coach Ron Hunter was amazing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he got involved with Samaritan's Feet. He was the first coach to coach barefoot, which is now something so many college basketball coaches do to raise awareness and raise funds for Samaritan's Feet. But Coach Ron Hunter was the first, and let's check out a couple of snippets of those interviews.
Oh, let's do it.
Every person and whatever they do has a purpose. And I was searching for my purpose at that time, and I thought it was coaching and getting to the Final Four and all the things that most coaches want to get to. But after that one meeting with Manny and being able to help children with shoes and some of the things that we've done, I quickly understood what my purpose was. And so my life changed once I met Manny, and my career changed and all of that. And my career changed because of the purpose, and finally realized what my purpose is. And I think everyone has to find that out. And 90% of it is not what you're doing at work. And so usually you have a platform, and you got to use that platform to do by helping other people.
Samaritan's Feet is actually a global humanitarian organization headquartered in North Carolina, but we've done so much work all across the great state of Tennessee in about 600 cities across the United States, 109 countries around the world. We inspire hope by providing shoes as the basics for foundational health to help prevent disease, help kids go to school. We tell kids all the time that we inspire hope, whether H stands for health, O is creating opportunity, P advocating for peace, and E creating access to education. Because most people don't know without shoes, many kids can't go to school.
Well, we have other episodes to highlight as we reflect on our community checkup for 2024 and the segments that we enjoyed during that show. Again, we enjoyed them all, but there's some special ones we want to make sure that you see so you can go back and watch the shows in their entirety. We'll be right back.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Hi, I'm Sarah at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Come see us at Bar Lines.
Welcome back to Community Checkup. This is so exciting, kind of looking back over the course of the year and all of the fun things that we've done. And one of the most fun events, I think, for Delta Dental, all of our employees, is Kids Dental Day. That was a day that we got together at Nashville Sounds Ballpark, First Horizon Park, and Samaritan's Feet came out, gave everybody free shoes, and we were able to meet so many people on just that one day. When the kids, they get their shoes, they're excited about that. They're excited to go see a dentist. And, I don't know about you, but growing up, I was like, oh, I never wanted to go to the dentist. I still don't.
I was about to say, even being grown up, I don't want to go to the dentist. No offense to all the dentists out there.
Yes, we love our dentists, but it's fun to be able to offer that. And the dental students who are involved, the dentists and hygienists who volunteer and come out for the day, it's a wonderful day.
I just want to highlight the fact, the heart that those students have to want to make the dental experience for kids a nice one. It was impressive.
Yes. And I think you had a chance to talk to one of them, didn't you?
I did. I sure did. So let's take a look at just a little bit from Kids Dental Day.
Yeah, so on top of my second year, I love my hair, I love dentistry. I think a healthy smile is like the window to your heart. Like the first thing you see with a person is their smile. I know that growing up, some children, they have crooked smiles, or you may have defective teeth and things like that, and they'll cause confidence issues, and they'll get a new set of teeth, or they'll get dentures, or they'll get extractions, or endo, whatever they get done. They'll correct that smile, and you just see their whole lifestyle change. Like I've seen patients cry at the sight of new dentures, and it just always warms my heart. It never gets old.
We are partners with City Current, and they mentioned they needed a partner for Samaritan's Feet. Coach Ron Hunter, who we saw in the last episode,
Yes.
He donated $10,000 for shoes, so that was enough shoes for 400 kids. We do have a few more kids than that, so we've done that with some local donations, and one City Current partner gave us 40 pairs of shoes, which was nice. Stefanie, another fun thing that we did this past summer, we were able to meet at the zoo with the Vanderbilt's Cleft and Craniofacial program, the program there at Monroe Carroll Junior Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. Dr. Michael Galinko joined us, and we were able to talk with him, and we were able to talk with some of the families, but they had a special guest that was extra special.
They truly, Cleft Rescue Unit, a organization out of New York City, there with some puppies and dogs that were dealing with a cleft palate.
Yes.
And would have to go through surgeries, but really comforting for the kids to see. So that is something that I loved watching. You had the youngsters coming in and they'd be like, oh, look, you know, that was neat.
So Cleft Rescue Unit started about 1.5 years ago after I had been working with special needs puppies for a while. As you can see, this puppy has a cleft. It's a cleft lip. And what we do is we specialize in taking newborn puppies with cleft lips and palates because they're unable to nurse on their moms. So if they nurse, they have the palate on the top of their mouth is not fully formed, and they have a high risk of aspirating. And so we take them the day they're born. So we get them, usually we have one at home that's 2.9 ounces. Oh my God. And we get them the day they're born and we tube feed them. And then we get them to the age appropriate, 8 to 10 weeks. And as long as they're healthy, we find fantastic homes for them.
That was a beautiful afternoon there at the Nashville Zoo. Okay, we can't forget about our big trip to Memphis for St. Jude Jam. Thank you for letting me tag along in this.
Yes, that was so much fun. And you got to meet one of the guys from Montgomery Gentry,
yes,
whose son was actually a patient at St. Jude.
Yes, and it was nice to hear his take on just the work done at St. Jude. Then Don Felder on hand from the Eagles, that was a cool.
Quite a legend.
Yes, to hear, from him and their thoughts, both of them on their thoughts of the work and all the success at St. Jude. The entire event that night at St. Jude Jam was just inspirational. First off, for the support that you see for the hospital and the work done. But to hear from the families of the recipient, the child who had his name now on the cargo plane,
yes,
there in Memphis.
And his grandfather was an employee for FedEx. And so FedEx names planes every year.
Carrier plane, yes.
Carrier plane after someone who goes through St. Jude, and usually that patient has a connection to FedEx. So it's really special to meet those families.
It definitely was. The following day, we had 2 special interviews that we were able to conduct while we were in Memphis. Share more on those.
Yes, had a lot of fun. One of the clinics that we support, Church Health Center, that organization is so special because it was one of the first clinics in the country, and now they have influenced more clinics like themselves, not just in the U.S., but around the world, but really focusing on holistic health and how your health from head to toe is all related. And Church Health has not only health clinics, they have a lot of dental. Dental is probably the #1 need for persons who are disadvantaged. So they're able to treat their dental health, but then help share with those individuals how their oral health impacts their overall health. And I mean, Church Health does cooking classes, they do exercise classes, and even their founder still meets with patients today. His consults are usually done around the walking track. When we talk about whole person health, you're able to, if people have multiple appointments with doctors, they're able to come one place and get everything taken care of almost at the same time.
Absolutely, and that is what we strive for, because we are working with the underserved and uninsured. These are the hourly workers, folks who are going to help to take care of us and make our lives more comfortable. Our favorite waitress, the person who's going to take care of our children, maybe the person who works on our dry cleaning. Those are the folks that we really serve. And one of the hardest things for them to do is to take time off and go to the doctor. Well, they're certainly not going to want to take time off to go to the doctor 3 different times. So if we can meet their needs all in one location, that truly is at the benefit for that worker and the employer, and then of course the community. So we do want to treat a patient in our medical clinic, take care of their kids while they're having a dental appointment or a patient appointment, and then if there's a referral that needs to be made and we can take care of it on the spot same day, we're going to strive to do that as well.
Very special.
It is. And during that interview, I have to say, sitting there on that day, I was like, this is the heart of what we want Community Checkup to be, what we're highlighting. Those special organizations working on behalf of their community, working on the betterment of all of those who live in our areas here in Tennessee. So that was really one of those, it's like, okay, this is what we want to make sure that all of you know about happening here in our beautiful state. Rounding out our trip there, we were able to make a visit to the University of Tennessee College of Dentistry.
Housed in the Delta Dental of Tennessee building.
Yes,
so that's very special.
It is. And you had a great time on that day. I know I did, because I got to go in and do a little work with...
you got to play a dentist for a day.
I did with Dr. Magda Dagan. Did I pronounce her last name correctly?
Dr. Dagan. Yes.
Dagan, yes, she was wonderful. And let's share just a quick excerpt from her on the work there of the students there at the College of Dentistry.
And because of the Healthy Smiles Initiative and the lack of dentists in the state of Tennessee, we wanted to increase our class size from 100 a couple of years ago to 110 2 years ago to 120. And this year we had 130 dental students and 50 dental hygiene students, which is a great increase in number and very exciting for us because we will have more dentists being able to serve the community. And that's what's important to us. But at the same time, you can't grow a class if you don't have the facility. So it's beautiful that we have this brand new facility, state of the art, latest technology that can house our students comfortably and to make sure that they have everything that they need to be successful. I tell our students when we accept them, we don't just leave them alone. We want to make sure that they have everything that they need to be successful over the 4 years.
Again, thank you for letting me take part in this and have that experience and learn more there.
We're very proud of what we've been able to invest in the College of Dentistry and help with the sim labs, with the oral diagnostic and imaging clinics. We're very focused on making sure that the dentists who are graduating from today's dental schools are ready to treat patients once they graduate, and those patients are our members. So really want to make sure that our Delta Dental subscribers, the users of our dental benefits, are taken care of very well.
A great highlight in that episode. Stick with us. We have 3 other episodes that we're going to look back at. We're going to share a little bit on the Pinson Hospitality House and more. Stick with us.
My name is Roy, Bellman and Omni Hotel. Please come and see us.
Dental and vision. We love your whole face. See us at deltadentalpn.com.
Welcome back. Episode 6 was a really good one, and one with a lot of content during that episode, from the Pinson Hospitality House celebrating 50 years to Second Harvest to Scott Hamilton.
Yes, that was a very special episode, and you actually got to go and tour the hospitality house and meet with Angie as well as a patient living there.
I did. The work that this hospitality house has been doing now for 50 years, being that place for those families with someone in the Nashville area receiving life-saving care at one of our hospitals. It has been a place of comfort, a place of healing, and they're now helping the patients in addition to the families. So that is something that Angie made sure to share, that they're helping both ends now.
Yes.
What do you hear from those that are staying here? What do you hear from them?
Oh, it's so heart-moving, honestly, and emotional. I wish everyone could come and hear the stories that we hear and the thankfulness, the humility, and the kindness. I love to tell the story that people walk through the front door literally as strangers. People come from all across the country. In fact, this year alone, we have already served 18 states within our country. And just this year alone in 2024 through August. And so when people walk through the doors, they walk in as strangers, but they leave friends. And so you hear so many stories of people being grateful. They're humbled by everyone's kindness. And again, it's just magical being part of this this home away from home. And we're basically 1 mile. We sit in the center of all 3 of your major hospital systems. And they can even walk if they needed to. So it's a very comfortable, as you see, home and environment, and very safe. So they're very appreciative and very grateful.
Pinson Hospitality House, that was the first hospital hospitality house in the country, which is amazing to think that all of that started here, and now there are hospitality houses all over.
Let's talk about Second Harvest real quick and the incredible food bank that we have here for Middle Tennessee.
Yes, Second Harvest is probably one of the largest food banks in in the country. Second Harvest Middle Tennessee covers more than half of the counties in the state of Tennessee.
46 counties.
Yeah, which is amazing. That's almost half of the state, and there are other food banks that serve other areas. We also do, we work with Second Harvest East Tennessee, but the work that they do, they even sell food to other food banks, and it's all based on economies of scale because they can bring in so much and then they can share those cost savings with their colleagues.
Yes, and if you're looking for volunteer hours, this may be the organization to go, the nonprofit to reach out to. A very special element of this episode, sitting down with Scott Hamilton, learning more about the Hamilton Cares Foundation.
Yes, Scott Hamilton Cares does so much for cancer research, and they fund a lot of research for types of cancer that other organizations aren't touching. One of those happens to be the cancer that took my mom, and that's glioblastoma, brain tumors. And I mean, they're finding out some amazing things. So let's hear from Scott directly about the research they're doing.
Sounds good.
You know, the very first thing we did was we created a mentorship program that pairs newly diagnosed patients with survivors. I didn't have that. I wanted to quit after round 3 because I thought I was failing. And little did I know it's kind of normal. And, you know, so the more you're able to have a life coach and sort of a role model to work with, it changes the entire journey. The second thing I did was I was the organ grinder's monkey for 5 years to build a website called chemocare.com. And I'm not going to get this out, but I did a speech recently for oncology nurses in this area, and I was talking about chemocare. I go, anybody use chemocare? And with puzzled looks, 100% of them raised their hands. And all it is everything you need to know about chemotherapy, how it's administered, every drug is listed and it described, and all the side effects that are associated with those drugs are listed and described in 8th grade English and Spanish. So now everybody has a resource to kind of buy into their treatment and understand it. And with that, it's not a step in the dark, because I felt like every step I took was in the dark. And so once we accomplished those things, we launched from the Cleveland Clinic because I wanted to raise more money for research. And there's very strict guidelines of how you can raise money when you're a part of a medical institution. And so I said, can I take the brand and go public? And the CEO of the Cleveland Clinic said, you've done a lot for us, go. And so we needed to figure out who we were as a foundation now that was going to be a research foundation. And so we just said, we're gonna fund the future of cancer treatment options, which is immunotherapy. It's an immune response to cancer. And it's remarkable that 3 years after we put that stake in the ground, the first immunotherapy drug hit the market. And I was like,
What was that conversation like for you? And I asked because you did get misty-eyed. Like, I mean, that you can, you know.
Scott is amazing, and to know what he has been through, and the program, we were also able to talk with him about Scott Hamilton and Friends, where he brings world-class skaters from all over into Nashville, and the entertainment is local performers, singers get on stage and with a live band, and just the interaction between the skating and the musicians, because they're all at the same level. It's simply a stunning show.
If you're unable to make it this year, I encourage you to get tickets for next year. It will be in December, and there's a special party afterwards. You can get tickets to that as well. So just kind of tuck that away. It's a show that you will not regret checking out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so who hasn't been to the Adventure Science Center here in Nashville? If you haven't, that's another spot. You guys, come on, you have to go and make a visit.
Yes, they have so much going on. It's not, you know, I remember when it was the Cumberland Science Museum. And it was very much look, don't touch. It's not like that anymore.
It's very interactive.
Yes, very interactive, and they've got a lot of new exhibits coming in. We were able to get a sneak peek at the dinosaurs exhibit that they are building.
Yes, then who doesn't love dinosaurs? That was really nice hearing from the president, also the president and CEO of the Adventure Science Center, talking about the work of getting these new exhibits there, and the Sudican Planetarium also receiving upgrades now in, what is it?
It is amazing. I believe 7K.
7K is what it's in now?
Yes, and when you looked, we were able to be there the night of the initial screening, and we were able to meet Doctors Jahangir.
Yes.
Both of them, one has been an astronaut, gone to outer space, and Alex is also a doctor at Vanderbilt, and he was the one who led Nashville through the COVID
Our point person during COVID.
Yes.
I think the most important thing for me, being here at the Adventure Science Center, is that initial support I had when I was in high school coming here as a volunteer, as an explainer, which is what we called them back then, was so pivotal in who I became later, right? That grounding in science and the exposure to it, and to be able to really work in it at a young age, led me down a career into cardiology and also a passion for space. I mean, I remember we had the whole body system upstairs that we would go see, and then they had a Mission to Mars exhibit that came through that was also like, I was like, this is amazing.
It's extremely special in that I often pinch myself and I say, who the heck am I to have been given so many cool opportunities? And it's not a day goes by I don't think about that. And again, as I'm looking around, and it's really special to be able to, and then to have my brother have achieved something that I'm so proud of him because he's worked so hard for, and to know that the foundation that came from our education, came from our experiences here, it's really special.
And what was so cool was both of them got started and developed that budding interest as kids in science at the Adventure Science Center.
Yeah, so you never know what will be sparked or ignited in your child when you're making that trip out to the Adventure Science Center.
Yes, exactly.
One more show to highlight and to talk about on this one is incredibly special. To Missy, I have to say again, congratulations on being the recipient for the Catalyst Award for the March of Dimes champion dinner that you invited us to, so thank you for that. But to see you accept that award and all the work that you have done to help raise money for March of Dimes.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, that whole campaign. One thing that hit me that night, we were able to meet with a friend of mine, Navonda Lilly, who had twin sons who were preemies in the NICU at Vanderbilt, and she got a lot of support from March of Dimes. But it dawned on me that from the time my campaign started until that award night was the length of time that her sons were in the NICU unit. They were in there for about 3 months. And when you put things into that kind of perspective, I can't imagine having to leave my child at the hospital and for that long. And the organizations like March of Dimes helping these moms, these families, it's simply amazing.
Talk again and share more on how dental health for a mom for who's carrying, expecting, whether it be the first child, second, or any other, how important that is.
Dental care is very important because one of the leading causes of low birth weight preterm babies is preeclampsia. And one of the causes of that is it's the bacteria in the mouth. It can get down into the placenta, and then that can cause issues. So it's very important for pregnant women to make sure that they continue their dental care, make sure they get their cleanings and dental exams. Typically your dental insurance is going to cover it for twice a year. At least try to get in there once. I know it is so difficult. I was sick for the entire 9 months of my pregnancy, and I did not want anybody probing around in my mouth, but it is so important that pregnant women are going to so many doctor's visits with the OBGYNs. Make sure that dental visit is mixed in with those two.
Any final thoughts from you before we end out this episode?
People may be wondering what this is.
This has been behind us the whole time.
That we are in the Chew on This podcast studios. We do a weekly podcast for our employees. And so we're thankful that you guys are able to come over and do this here in our offices.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your time. Once again, I'm Stefanie Miller with Main Street Media of Tennessee, alongside not only my co-host, but my dear friend,
Thank you. I'm Missy Acosta with Delta Dental of Tennessee.
Thanks so much. We're glad that you joined us. We'll see you back here next time.